It's the penultimate weekend of ACC softball conference play, and tonight the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech are in town to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies in a 3-game set. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter Edgman. Grind winds and fires, and strike 3 swinging. Aldridge fires on to Chatfield at first, and there is 1 out via the K in the top of the first. Georgia Tech in almost every offensive category you can think of: batting average, hits, RBIs, home runs, to name a few. The 3-2 delivery. Strike 3 swinging. And Lindsey Grind sets down the first 2 Georgia Tech hitters. Full count to the Georgia Tech 3-hole hitter. And ball 4 in the dirt as Allen trots to first base, and the Yellow Jackets have their first runner aboard.
About it, they're going to continue to learn and move forward with each at-bat.
Chopped on over to the third baseman. Peck comes over, fires on to first in time. And Virginia Tech gets out of the top frame untouched. Hokies come to bat when we return. 2 balls and a strike. Chopped up the middle, and it will get to the outfield as Edgman comes on and knocks it down. Emma Ritter leads things off with a single, and the leadoff hitter is aboard. As the lefty will meet the right-handed pitcher. Lines this one into left field. Going back is Dobbins, and she will look up as this one clears the fence. Addie Green starts things off, and the Hokies go up 2-0.
Addie Green with her 9th home run of the year. We just got done talking about what a staple player she is for this program.
And just 6 pitches in, Addie Green leaves the yard.
Pitch was elevated just slightly. It was about at the belt, but Addie Green able to take it opposite field. That's always pretty cool.
Just going to say, I ate before this, but a nice Oppo taco bomb
yeah,
out there.
A little bit too much. Maybe you don't release it the way that you're supposed to.
3-1. Norton winds and fires. And ball 4 as Michelle Chatfield will reach via the walk this season. Clubbed into center field, ranging over and diving for it is Edgman, and she'll make the grab as there's 1 out in the bottom of the first. A 2-run home run by Addie Green. And hits off the left shoe of Norton, and she won't have a play on it. Lines it off the pitcher, and Bree Peck will reach. Got us. 1 ball, 1 strike on Fagan. She clubs this one into left field, and it will get down. Dobbins chases it back. Getting the round and scoring is Fleming. And now here comes Bree Peck, and she will score with ease as the Hokies expanded to a 4-0 lead. Give Cameron Fagan a 2 RBI double.
Fagan goes down and gets this ball low in the zone, still strong enough to be able to lift it to left field. And it rolls all the way to the wall, which
when she had that big home run against the Liberty Flames here at TSP a couple weeks back, as she will chop this one over the third base bag. It's fair. Holding up is Fagan, and she will find herself in a pickle. And the ball is knocked loose out of Soleo's glove as Fagan will dive back into third base safely. And right down Broadway, and Boyles will get her first strike in the outing. 3-1 on the get. It's going to be a ball 4. Late appeal and up. And the off speed gets Rose chasing, and there's 2 outs. As now the lineup flips over to Emma Ritter, stepping in for her 2nd time, and she cranks this one into left field. Hits off the wall, 1 runs in. Here comes the 2nd. Leggett will be held at 3rd. It's a 2 RBI double for Emma Ritter, and Virginia Tech extends the lead to 6-0. Emma Ritter here in this opening frame.
And that pitch, I mean, it was just way too much over the plate and elevated. I mean, it was up at the letters, so Emma Ritter having no problem taking that pitch. Each other, I guess, in a way, and it's just like the bats, they just keep going.
Grounded up to the pitcher, Voiles. She throws home. And they're both So they're calling the out at the plate, which will be our third out.
You've got to just jump back up and try to punch back as best you can.
Rose fires on to Chatfield in time, and there's one away in the top of the second. As Dobbin, the Georgia Tech jersey as a player, now is on the other side coaching this Georgia Tech team. Brian knocks it down in the circle, regroups, and fires on to Chatfield at first, and there's two away in the top half of the second.
Few more pitches. You have to throw, at least 3 pitches to get the strikeout. So
ball 4 as Vukadinovic will trot to first base and extend the inning. Already a big number of strikeouts, 113 entering play. As she gets another, as Hunter's behind it for strike 3, and Lindsey Grind sets down the Jackets.
One of my favorite places to play, gosh, I think was at LSU. I really enjoyed playing at LSU while the fans there were also.
Full hitter 0 for 1 in the ball game, flew out to the center fielder back in her first at bat as she skies this one in a left field, coming over to the shortstop, and Soleo will corral it for the first out this year. The Yellow Jackets have already hit 30 more home runs this year than they did all of last year, as the wild pitch hits off the backstop and moves Michelle Chatfield up to second base. As 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch from Voiles. Runs upstairs, and Cameron Fagan will get a free pass to first base.
Deeper, being able to bring her in.
Grounds us one of the first basemen, Gailey. She knocks it down and steps on first for the 3 unassisted. And this will take us to the 3rd frame. Virginia Tech still leading 6-0.
They can turn things around and get things going into postseason.
3-2 delivery, flied into left fields, falling quickly, and it will hit into the outfields as rounding up to second is Soleo, falling in the triangle of Peck, Rose, and Green out in left fields. And the first hit for Georgia Tech in the ballgame. Tennessee. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grounded right back to the pitcher, Grind, leaping up and throwing on over to Chatfield at first. And there's one away. An acrobatic play by Lindsey Grind in the circle. Base streak, looking to extend that as she flies one over to the second baseman. Cameron Fagan settles under it and makes the grab for 2 outs. And a big out for Virginia Tech.
Huge out year. That's been the big change for her, is the consistency at the plate.
3 balls and a strike. Grind comes home, and it's in the dirt for ball 4 as runners will be aboard on the corners.
And
2 balls and 2 strikes on Gailey. Clubs this one into left field, and it's caught by Addie Green, who surges to her left. And Virginia Tech cuts down the Yellow Jacket. 1 out, then Voiles went the next inning in 2/3 before handing it on over to Studebaker. Grounded on over to Soleo at short. 1 hops, throws on to first, and Gailey has it as there's 1 gone on 1 batter in the bottom of the 3rd. Focus on Saturday and Sunday, who's going to be pitching there. As this one is lined right back up the middle, gets past a diving Soleo in the center, and Annika Rose will reach with a single, as there's 1 out with 1 gone in the bottom of the 3rd. 3-1, delivery on its way to Ritter. Chops it to the shortstop, Soleo, comes over, fires on to first, and Gailey has it as there's 2 away. Athletic play by the shortstop, Soleo at short. Senior class that has made their legacy known here at TSP and the entire program. The 3-2 deal, lined into right fields. Coming over is the right fielder. She has it for out number 3. And we have played 3 innings from Tech Softball Park.
Actually won an ACC tournament, was in 2012. And then before that, Virginia Tech, they won the tournament in 2008. So both of these teams, been a moment since they've won a tournament.
Out of the Big South. Grounded on over to the 3rd baseman, Peck fires to second, and Fagan tries the relay to first, not in time. And Dominique will reach via the fielder's choice.
Try to get it to get underneath the barrel as well as move away from the hitter.
Ball gets away from the catcher Aldridge, and advancing up to second will be Dominique. As Georgia Tech will have another runner in scoring position.
Be advancing.
2-2. Grounded past the diving Peck. Getting the hold at 3rd is Dominique, and the runners will be on the corners as it's a single for Vukadinovic.
I think that pitch just a little too low in the zone.
In the top of the fourth. Georgia Tech 1 for 7 with runners on base today as Hunter tattoos this one into left field, and it is gone. You can kiss it goodbye. Reese Hunter, a 3-run home run, and Georgia Tech cuts the deficit in half.
Reese Hunter already had 7 home runs on the year, so she's no stranger to hitting the long ball, but this is a huge position to come up in and hit that ball out of the park. 2 runners on. That ball a little elevated, and she gets great timing on it, and I love that because she previously struck out, so coming back and being able to make that adjustment and then hit a home run, that's huge.
Reese Hunter really has been, again, the best part of most of those games at home for Georgia Tech. Half swing on over to the third baseman, Peck. Fields and fires to first. Chatfield has it, and there's 2 away as the lethal 9-hole hitter is retired.
And honestly, that's a perk of
the offense is they've been able to slug the leather off the softball, it feels like, this season, is off the end of the background into Peck, who's playing the shift lop, throw to first, and that will do it for the top of the fourth. Not before Reese Hunter. 3-1 delivery. Studebaker comes home, and ball 4 called as Michelle Chatfield now has a trio of walks.
That's not a bad miss of a team that can hit like Virginia Tech, as well as Georgia Tech.
Dominique puts the tag on, fires on to first just through the glove of Gailey. There's a second baseman. Dominique will get 1 on the fielder's choice, but McMillan is safely aboard on first base. That ticket as they are getting very close to it. Out in front of it is Peck, and firing on to first is Black in time, and there's 2 away as Bree Peck was trying to leg out a single.
Like the moment you think, okay, just got past this hitter. Oh, well, now you've got to focus on this next hitter who can also do damage.
Fagan, little chopper on over to Gailey at first. She takes a deep breath, steps on the bag, and that is 3 outs. 4 innings in the books for Mallory Blacksman. Right on cue, lines this one into the right center gap. Will hop off the wall. She'll round first and get into second with a sliding attempt in Mallory Black. Ryan winds and fires. Hit off the end of the bat just over a diving Rose into center field. Black will be held at third, and there will be runners on the corners for the Yellow Jackets as Jaden Gailey will have a chance to get Georgia Tech back in striking distance as she hits it to the shortstop Rose. On to the second, Fagan, fire to first in time. A 6-4-3 double play. Gets 2 outs, but Georgia Tech gets 1 back. It's 6-4.
Huge play there by the Hokies. This ball on the outside part of the plate and hit where it's supposed to. Rose makes a nice easy throw over to second, and then the throw over to first by Fagan. Gets the, I mean, a 2-run ball game, you can come back from that.
Dobbins on the inside of the bat. Fading back is Fagan, and she makes the catch for the 3rd out. Georgia Tech gets 1 back. Hokies still control a 2-run lead in Blacksburg. To Kylie Aldridge, the catcher for the Hokies. 1 for 2 in the ball game as she pops one high into the Blacksburg sky. Zaleo settles under it and makes the grab for the 1st out.
Staff, someone who, you know, could maybe take it one day at a time, or you could put different pitchers in different situations. So right here, we're seeing Virginia Tech really kind of riding Lindsey Grind today this first day, taking majority of the innings for the Hokies.
And how about on Georgia Tech? How is this going to affect them going forward the next 2 days when they use 3 arms already in this game? As first a throw on from Black to Gailey. That's going to help for sure. A quick 1-2-3 innings on. 1-2 deal. Chopped up the middle, ranging over the shortstop Rose. Throws on to first in time. Covering the ground out at short. Annika Rose with the 6-3. The 1-1 deal. Dribbler out in front of the plate. The catcher Aldridge comes over, fires on to first. And out is the call by first base umpire Stan Cook. Have adjourned, and the call has been overturned as it's safe at first base. Get to first safely. 1-0 deal from Mazzarone, winding and firing. Hunter chopping to the third baseman Peck. On to second to Fagan, falling to her knees, in time. Virginia Tech turning another double play, and the Hokies get out of the inning untouched. Grounded on over to the second baseman, Dominique. Winds and fires to first, and Gailey corrals for the first out. Score to 4-3. Dribbler on over to the second baseman, Dominique. Corrals and fires, and there's 2 away as Dominique's got her second putout of the 6th inning. 2 strikes. And it's ball 4 on Michelle Chatfield. Make it 4 walks for the freshman.
He's going for the Hokies, try to put a few more runs on the board.
Lines this one into right field, and you can kiss it goodbye. Corey McMillan with a 2-run bomb into the parking lot, and the Hokies extend the lead to 4.
Corey McMillan, 14 home runs, make that number 15, a 2-run bomb over right field fence. Absolutely crushes that ball, and I think she knows right away that that ball is out of here.
Home run number 96 for the Hokies this season. They set the program.
Very shocked if they didn't break it.
As Peck will chop this one to the shortstop, Soleo on to first in time, but not before Corey McMillan puts 2 more on. It's 8-4 Hokies heading into the 7th inning. Lefty on lefty matchup, 0-2, strike 3 swinging. Nazarone picking up the K on Soleo, and they're playing in her 21st game out in the circle. Grounder on over to Fagan. Bobbles it, still gets the throw off, and Chatfield keeps the foot on the bag for out number 2. And there's 2 gone for, but as that Corey McMillan home run definitely added some insurance. It's going to take more than just 2, as this one's lined into the gap. Ranging over to her left is McMillan, and makes the grab on the run. And you can put this game in the books as Virginia Tech is victorious by the final of 8-4.
From the Georgia Tech bullpen, multiple home runs on the night. Great hitting on both sides, but Virginia Tech, they are going to pull away with the win after that big first inning.